Hello again, it's me, Mr. McSquare, playing organic Minecraft. And Albert Einstein once said, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. And that's why I'm down here surrounded by all these bouncy, fun cubes. I needed cobwebs, and I tried building generators, and I tried like 4 different systems, and none of it was working because weaving potions only work when stuff dies. So like if you splash yourself even and you take damage, it doesn't do it. It's each time something dies, it will spawn. So I went to the trial chamber and found a whole bunch of little bouncy fun guys that don't actually hurt me. So the slime blocks in their smallest form, they don't do damage when they run into you. But there's a lot of them. And that solved 2 problems. Not dangerous, and lots of them, so that their death will spawn into the cobwebs. Because I'm after the cobwebs, I don't need slime blocks. And as you can see, this is the safest way that I came up to do it. And there we go. Not fancy, but that's my cobble generating technique. Can't call it a farm, it's more of a technique. So here I am. At the end of last episode, I built a raid battleground up in the sky. And the big thing about this was I needed cobwebs at the end of the last build, which I didn't have. So that's why we're starting off this one with, hey, got my cobwebs. So in the raid battleground, we've got our little battle bunker here. And through the battle bunker, you can see that I've set up a beacon. That beacon goes all the way down into the water. There's a glass chamber through the center of this, so that the beacon will activate. Because it does have to have transparent blocks above it, otherwise the beacon gets blocked and no working. And then I didn't want just a pyramid sitting on the water down below. So I built a fishing ship to conceal it. There's my fishing boat, which is almost complete. It needed cobwebs, but we'll get to that in just a minute. Lots of fishermen on board. There's 8 fishermen that I can offload a whole bunch of codfish and turn codfish into emeralds. That's the main reason I used fishermen. Plus, it's a fishing boat. And the fishing boat's going to generate a bunch of fish for me once I finish off the farms. But the whole reason this boat's here is because of that beacon. So I put the beacon in the water down below and left a glass channel everywhere so that the beacon will activate. And you can see that it is a maxed out beacon, and a portion of the iron blocks I used for the pyramid are below the ground level, and I just covered it up a bit. I could have dug the whole thing underneath, but I wasn't that keen. I'll leave part of the pyramid sticking out. And you can see whatever gets into the bubble streams gets shot up into this area here, and there's a water channel that'll push everything into a hopper collection system down the center. Now, what makes this work, and including gets rid of these drowned visitors, is that we're going to put cobwebs over top of the water so that fish and these guys, they're suspended up in the air outside of their water source and will suffocate or burn. And that requires a fair amount of cobwebs. And that's why we built the whole well, didn't build it, but that's why we used the whole cobweb technique at the start of this video. And like so. just gonna line the top of the fish farm. I recommend you check out the previous video if you want to see the construction of this. But the cobwebs off the top finish it off and makes it look like a net. And you can see down below stuff's getting caught already. A little bit of sunburn and dehydration. It's going to turn everything that gets caught in these nets into resources for us. But that's a fair number of cobwebs. Let's see, 15 times 4 is 60 cobwebs per net, and there's 4 nets. That's 240 cobwebs. I didn't have 240 cobwebs in storage, so I had to visit the Bouncy Fun slime balls. A wide variety of things that get caught up in there. You can see rotten flesh and nautilus shells and ingots. They're all from drown that get caught up in the system. Once in a while a trident will show up in there too, but that's rare. And there's all kinds of goodies. So with that being said, I had to return to the nether and get some more nether skeleton heads for beacons. I'm so glad that everywhere I visit I kind of try to make it safe. You can see the glass walls and little passages that tall monsters like wither skeletons can't pass. Little overhangs. Wither skeletons are more than 2 blocks tall, so they can't pass the little choke points. Just makes the nether that much easier to survive. Much time later, you can see I've got 12 wither skulls. That took hours. Sometimes you get lucky, they drop fast. Other times it takes quite a bit of time. I go through my handy dandy shortcut in my temple, which will bring me down to my wither killing chamber. We're in the back rooms of the temple, going down the temple chute. Because when you're a nerd, you build shortcuts. And here's my shortcut to my chamber at the bottom of the world. And Prowl really puts out a good video on where to find these locations that you can basically suffocate a wither without having to fight them. And 12 skulls plus all the sands, soul sand. Soul soil. With all the soul soil and the skulls, we got enough materials there to build 4 withers, which will give us 4 nether stars for building beacons. And you can see just on the edge of the screen there's explosions. They're all blowing up, and I can spawn all 4 of these suckers. If I had more, I could do more, but I've got enough skulls for 4 of them. And doing all 4 at the same time, you just let them suffocate. Give them a little bit of space, stay out of the explosions. And again, check out Prowl's videos. He'll give you a bit of a good tutorial on how to kill the nether like this without having to bash and fight each one. And then I just collect them up and take those back to the crafting tables and bit of glass and obsidian, and those nether stars will become beacons for me. Take the beacons and power up the pyramids. The whole reason for building the starter base for me is resource collection. So I've got my iron farm to build all these iron blocks for my pyramid. I've got my raid battleground for emeralds. I've got my nether killing chamber so I can build beacons. And then once this is all starter base. Everything is varied but not ridiculously sized. because once I get all this stuff done, that's when the big builds start. But for now, we've got a raid battleground with all 4 beacons that I want blasting through it. You can see on the side I've got all the buffs from the beacons that I want. Okay, so functioning, the raid battleground is done, and now we just gotta dress it up a bit, because the big black flat plateau just wasn't doing it for me. So I wanted to add these evoker statues, inspired by a friend of mine. I'll put a link in the tutorial on how I build those suckers. Link in the description. Okay. So I'm going to add evoker statues to the battleground. And it's primarily black stone, prismarine for their hocus pocus, stone for their skin. Sorry, it's sea lanterns for the hocus pocus. And as you can see, I just changed their arm position, and I got a bunch of evokers around the perimeter. Kind of on theme for what this area is used for. And that's alright, like, I like it. But we're going to dress it up just a touch more. There we go. Gave each of them a backdrop. Yeah, I like it. Just a glass backdrop. Make it look like they're coming in through portals as raids are summoned in. And again, thanks to the hidden crater having a big smelting area, that's a lot of glass, man. Went and collected a lot of sand, bone mealed a lot of flowers for the dyes, and of course my furnaces were working overtime just pumping out glass. But the end effect is I get to build with a wider range of resources. I like it. I like it a lot. Why have a raid battleground when I can have a pretty raid battleground? And at night, it's got its own extra flair because of all the lights. Okay. You can see that I have my mechanical way up here, a whole bunch of scaffolding from the bottom up. So I knocked out the island that extended out to where the scaffolding started, and I'm gonna stick a lighthouse there to dress up a mechanism. We'll put a bubble elevator that goes up there, and we'll build a lighthouse down below to kind of give a reason for a bubble elevator to sit there, not just that you got a bubble elevator in the middle of the field. That wouldn't look right. And then I'm going to connect that lake to the ocean, and to do that I had to dig out this canal. So I dug out the canal and just left one line of block to hold back the water. It made digging way easier when I didn't have to worry about the water either suffocating me or pushing my blocks around. Plus I get to show you that the terraforming that was done. You know, shaping the land. So we knocked down this little peninsula to being just a pillar of stone that's big enough for this lighthouse built. And the lighthouse is going to house a bubble elevator. And we're just underneath the shadow of the artificial cloud, so things have to be lit up. Just showing you that down below, it's a solid stone block. I had a lot of stone in storage, so I just piled it up here and made my own artificial island, as it were. Because you can imagine the amount of stone that I got just from digging out this canal here. Don't throw anything away. There's all kinds of projects in the future. So with that being said, we'll just remove the retaining wall, and then with a bunch of water buckets to fill in whatever doesn't flood, the interior lake will be connected to the outside ocean through this canal. And fast forward, it's done. This didn't take long at all. Digging a hole and then water bucketing the edges until all the water fills in. This cow island's gonna go. I'll just dig it out and remove it. I don't need that anymore. I've got cows underneath the ground now. You can see the canal now connects to this area. Bit of a lake here, still rendering in, and then I'll build a bit of a trade fleet in this area, a well-protected port. Bit of a longer video, but we have quite a few different topics that we're tackling on this one. Okay, of course, update the maps because we actually changed the ground. You can see the map updating there. Yep, canal is now included. And we're just updating the maps from the different map rooms that we've got. Also gives us an opportunity to give you a quick flyby and show you what's going on. So back to the last portion of this, which is the bubble elevator being hidden by a lighthouse. So over there we hid the pyramid with a ship. Fishing ship. Now we've got a lighthouse, which is we're just going simple here. It's a cylinder cone, a couple floors to it, and we'll put a rotating light at the top. Through the center of it all, where the scaffolding is, when we're ready, we'll rip out the scaffolding and we'll just stick a bubble elevator. Those accidents happen. There will be a time when I don't have Elytra and it's a realm, so if another player comes on and needs to get up there, they can just bubble elevator up. If they need to jump down, there's a whole lake of safety fluid for them to jump down into. So the physical shell of the lighthouse is done. It just went simple. Again, this is not a lighthouse build. This is the hidden crater that just needed a bubble elevator up to my raid battleground, and we dressed up the bubble elevator. Turn this into a bit of a polar authority. Got lots of office space here if we want to decorate it. I don't know if I'm going to house a villager in here or just make it an office or more storage. Don't know. But I got space and time to decide what I want to do to the interior. And you can see that the center shaft is just enclosed by glass, because once we make a bubble elevator, we don't want the water to run all over the place. And then up above here is the light of the lighthouse. So we're just going to use the flashing observer. Line of observers looking out to the lamps, and every time a pulse goes through there, it'll power the lamp adjacent, above and below, and to the left and right of each of those. And then we run an interior circuit of observers that are looking at each other. Make sure they're looking in the right direction. And when you connect all the observers, they automatically get a pulse. Where does the pulse come from? Don't know, but it happens. And then run a racetrack of observers looking at each other in the middle. And they will notice the pulse and repeat the pulse to the observer behind it. Zip, there's the flash. Okay. The observing part of the observer is the wide part of the triangle, and the tail of the observer is the point. So double checking our work, you can see we got observers on the outside looking outwards with their tails in, and then an internal row of observers all looking to the observer in front of it. It doesn't matter if you go clockwise or counterclockwise, just make sure that all the observers in the internal run are looking at the tail of the observer in front of it. Okay, just double checking that we glass up all the sections before we put water through here. And with that is the observer level. I don't want to have a water channel flow over all over the place, so I've actually got to seal in this portion. I used stripped spruce logs and stripped pale oak for the light and the dark portion of the upper lighthouse. And of course stone bricks for the bottom level. Give the illusion of a nice stone foundation. And just a line of glass in the middle. Now, being resource conscious and also wanting a little bit more fancier access. Above the lighthouse, from the lighthouse to the Raid Battleground cloud platform area, I don't want to use glass blocks. Glass blocks, it's not as efficient as glass panes. You can take a handful of glass blocks and turn into a lot of glass panes. So get the crafting table out and convert those. The water will be held back by anything, whether it's a button, a trap door, or a glass pane. And a glass pane that's not connected, look at it, it's a hard to see little square. So from a distance, you're not even going to see these glass panes, but it's going to hold the water into the channel in the center. The other thing that allows me to do is a player can slip in between the different glass panes, so you can get in and out of the upper area of the water column if you ever have a need. So get rid of the final touches, and we're going to just put a bubble elevator through the center. I do so much on here that there's just hours and hours and hours of digging, and I'm compressing everything down to less than 30 minutes for you guys. I want to share the finished product. I don't want to bore you all with the mundane digging, the building stuff, tearing it down, and then rebuilding it. And here we are at the top. We just gave the most simplest of enclosures for the top of the elevator. And also on that simplification note, I just simply want to say thanks to anyone who's still viewing after this long of a time, still watching this video. thank you. Like, your support actually means a lot to me. Thanks. Tell your friends, check out this guy. And of course, everything I do is in hard survival mode on a realm, so there is no backups, no saves. Everything's a one-shot. It's got to be done right. Well, it doesn't have to be a one-shot. You can always respawn and try it again. So, bubble elevator's done. And now we've got a way just to come up here that doesn't look like a big pile of scaffolding. It's also a lot faster than scaffolding, to be honest. We've got the water canal below. Got quite a bit done. Let's take a look at this beauty. See, there's the pyramid with the bubble elevator channel. Behind it is the beacon pyramid coming through the ship up to the top. The glass blocks in the ship are brown, so the beacon lights are brown there, and then I put white blocks at the top, so once the beacon passes through the battleground, the beacon turns white again. Don't even notice the glass holding the water there. And those are the beacons from the hidden crater itself. Everything's lit up. You can see the big shadow of the clouds from above, but what you gonna do? That takes quite a bit off the to-do list. I like getting stuff done. So the raid battleground's going to give us resources to make a totem shop and bank with all the emeralds and totems that they drop. But for now, that's it. That's quite a bit. But thank you very much for joining me. I love you all. Have a good day. Bye bye.